This is your CCNA Part 2 practice round, 19 real exam-style questions. Here's the deal. You read each question, lock in your answer before the timer reveals it, then I break down the exam logic so it sticks under pressure. Keep score as you go. The difficulty climbs question by question, and the ones most people miss are waiting near the end. So stick around to the finish and prove you can hold your streak. Let's get into it. Question 1 of 19. Which of the following port security violation modes will neither disable the interface nor increment the violation counter when an unauthorized frame is received? Option A, protect. Option B, log. Option C, restrict. Option D, shutdown. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. The protect mode simply discards violating frames without taking more drastic action. The other options disable the interface or log violations. Question 2 of 19. The DR of an OSPF broadcast network segment of 4 routers goes down due to a hardware failure. Which of the following statements is true? Option A. The BDR will remain the same, and an election will be held to decide the new DR. Option B. The BDR will become the DR, and an election will be held to decide the new BDR. Option C. Elections will be held to decide the new DR and BDR. Option D. An election will be held to decide the new DR. Lock in your pick before the reveal. Trust the read. The answer is option B. Why it works. The correct answer proves that the BDR immediately becomes the new DR upon failure, triggering an election for a new BDR. The distractor trap is assuming a full re-election for both roles occurs simultaneously. Question 3 of 19. Which protocol should you use to securely connect to the GUI of a WLC? Option A, SSH. Option B, Telnet. Option C, HTTP. Option D, HTTPS. Decide on the strongest option before the reveal. Stay with your gut. The answer is option D. Key Q. The correct answer proves that HTTPS provides encrypted communication for sensitive data like credentials. SSH, Telnet, and HTTP are eliminated because they are either unencrypted or not the standard for web-based GUI access. Question 4 of 19. Which IPv6 address type is automatically configured on an interface when the IPv6 enable command is used? Option A, EUI64. Option B, link local. Option C, unique local. Option D, global unicast. Make the call before the reveal. Hold the line on it. The answer is option B. Behind the answer, the correct answer proves that the IPv6 enable command automatically configures a link local address. The distractor cue is knowing that other address types require specific configuration commands. Quick gut check. You are a quarter of the way in. How is your score holding up? Keep it rolling. Question 5 of 19. Which versions of WPA supports enterprise mode? Option A, WPA 3. Option B, WPA 2 and WPA 3. Option C, WPA 2. Option D, WPA, WPA 2, and WPA 3. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Reasoning. The correct answer proves that all WPA versions support enterprise mode with 802.1x and a radius server. The distractor trap is assuming newer versions removed this feature. Question 6 of 19. You must subnet the IP range shown on screen network to make the following subnets. Engineering, 67 hosts. Sales, 33 hosts. HR, 15 hosts. Finance, 7 hosts. Following best practice, if you make each subnet only as large as necessary, what should be the network address and prefix length of the HR subnet? Option A, the IP range shown on screen. Option B, the IP range shown on screen. Option C, the IP range shown on screen. Option D, the IP range shown on screen. Lock in your pick before the reveal. Trust the read. The answer is option D. What the exam tests here. The correct answer proves that A/27 subnet provides exactly 30 usable addresses for 15 hosts. The distractor queue is recognizing that A/26 is unnecessarily large and wastes addresses. Question 7 of 19. You are configuring a DHCP pool, the IP range shown on screen, on R1 to be used for client devices in the LAN. However, you want to reserve the first 10 usable IP addresses to be used for R1's own IP address as well as servers. Which command should you use on R1 to reserve those IP addresses? Option A. R1 each HCP config hashtag network. The IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, reserve the IP address shown on screen. Option B. The command shown on screen. Option C. The command shown on screen. Option D. R1 each HCP config hashtag IP HCP excluded address. The IP address shown on screen. Decide on the strongest option before the reveal. Stay with your gut. The answer is option C. Exam logic. The answer proves the correct command. IP HCP excluded address, used in global configuration mode to exclude a range of addresses from being assigned by DHCP. The distractors are syntactically incorrect commands. Question 8 of 19. Which action does a switch take on an unknown unicast frame? Option A. Forward. Option B. Drop. Option C. Broadcast. Option D. Flood. Make the call before the reveal. Hold the line on it. The answer is option D. Why it works. The answer proves that a switch floods frames when it cannot find a destination MAC in its table. The distractors describe actions for known unicast, broadcast, or dropped frames. Question 9 of 19. Which of the following lists the syslog severity levels from most to least severe? Option A. Alert, emergency, error, critical, warning, notice, informational, debugging. Option B. Emergency, alert, critical, error, warning, notice, informational, debugging. Option C. Alert, emergency, critical, error, warning, notice, informational, debugging. Option D. Emergency, alert, critical, warning, error, informational, notice, debugging. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Key queue. The answer proves the correct order of syslog severity levels from highest to lowest. The distrators list the levels in an incorrect sequence. Halfway point. The questions step up in difficulty from here, so do not coast. This is where the exam separates people. Question 10 of 19. Which of the following commands will cause a gigabit Ethernet interface to have an OSPF cost of 10? Option A. Autocost reference bandwidth 100. Option B. Autocost reference bandwidth 100000. Option C. Autocost reference bandwidth 10,000. Option D. Autocost reference bandwidth 1000. Lock in your pick before the reveal. Trust the read. The answer is option C. Behind the answer. The correct answer proves the reference bandwidth calculation for OSPF cost. The trap is a distractor with a bandwidth value that produces an incorrect cost. Question 11 of 19. Which of the following features drops traffic if the traffic rate exceeds the configured limit? Option A. Policing. Option B. Shaping. Option C. Buffering. Option D. LLQ. Decide on the strongest option before the reveal. Stay with your gut. The answer is option A. Reasoning. The correct answer proves the function of policing in QoS. Shaping is a trap, as it buffers excess traffic instead of dropping it. Question 12 of 19. Which of the following configures a router as a DHCP client? Option A, the command shown on screen. Option B, the command shown on screen. Option C, the command shown on screen. Option Z, the command shown on screen. Option D, the command shown on screen. Make the call before the reveal. Hold the line on it. The answer is option B. What the exam tests here? The correct answer proves the command to configure a router interface as a DHCP client. The trap is the command for configuring a DHCP server. Question 13 of 19. Which of the following FHRPs can be used to provide a redundant IP address between a Cisco and Juniper router? Option A, VRRP. Option B, HSRP. Option C, GLBP. Option D, l'ACP. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. The correct answer proves that VRRP is an open standard suitable for multi-vendor environments. HSRP is a Cisco proprietary trap. 3/4 done. You are in the home stretch now, so tighten your focus for the hardest run. Question 14 of 19. Which of the following commands uses an industry standard protocol to negotiate the creation and maintenance of a lag? Option A, Channel Group 1 mode active. Option B, Channel Group 1 mode on. Option C, Channel Group 1 mode desirable. Option D, Channel Group 1 mode auto. Lock in your pick before the reveal. Trust the read. The answer is option A. Why it works. The correct answer proves the LACP protocol for negotiating a lag. The on mode is a trap, as it is a static, non-negotiating configuration. Question 15 of 19. Which of the following static routes relies on proxy ARP to function? Option A, IP, route the IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, Gigabyte Ethernet 0/0, the IP address shown on screen. Option B, IP, route the IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, Gigabyte Ethernet 0/0. Option C, IPv6 route 2001, DB8/64 Gigabyte Ethernet 0/0, the IPv6 address shown on screen. Option D, IP, route the IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, the IP address shown on screen. Decide on the strongest option before the reveal. Stay with your gut. The answer is option B, KQ. The correct answer proves that a static route with only an exit interface depends on proxy IRP. The option with an explicit next hop IP is a trap. Question 16 of 19. Which HTTP response code is expected if a client tries to access a resource that doesn't exist on the server? Option A, 102. Option B, 500. Option C, 404. Option D, 200. Make the call before the reveal. Hold the line on it. The answer is option C. Behind the answer, the correct answer proves the meaning of the 404 not found status code. The 200 OK option is a trap for a successful request. Question 17 of 19. Which of the following commands can be used to configure a pre-hashed password using MD5 to protect privileged XX mode? Option A, enable secret 5 password. Option B, enable password 7. Option B, enable secret password. Option D, enable secret 5. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Reasoning. The correct answer proves the syntax for configuring a pre-hashed secret password. The trap is a command that hashes the password on the local device. Final stretch. These last few are the ones most test takers get wrong, so make them count. Question 18 of 19. R1 learns a route to the IP range shown on screen via OSPF. Which of the following commands configures a floating static route with an AD1 higher than the OSPF route? Option A, IP route, the IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, the IP address shown on screen 116. Option B. IP route, the IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, the IP address shown on screen 111. Option C. IP route, the IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, the IP address shown on screen 121. Option D. IP route, the IP address shown on screen, the subnet mask shown on screen, the IP address shown on screen 91. Lock in your pick before the reveal. Trust the read. The answer is option B. What the exam tests here. The correct answer proves that OSPF's default AD is 110, so 111 is one higher. Distractors use values that are either too high or lower than OSPF's AD. Question 19 of 19. An enterprise installs keypads that require staff to enter a code to gain access to secure rooms. What is this an example of? Option A. User awareness. Option B. Multi-factor authentication. Option C. Physical access control. Option D. User training. Decide on the strongest option before the reveal. Stay with your gut. The answer is option C. Exam logic. The correct answer demonstrates understanding of physical security controls. User awareness and training are not the type of control, and MFA involves multiple factors.